So for this one, we're going to go through and do some of the right hand. I'm not going to give you any context like we did for part 2, just because it doesn't need as much feel. So we're going to start off on that B sharp, which is a C natural. And I'm going to go from measure 28 to 31. So I want you to make sure when you're looking at this measure 29, measure 31, the right hand starts with an eighth rest. If you don't count this eighth rest, then your rhythm's going to be a little bit off. So make sure that you either imagine that G sharp playing both times, or you like make a snap or a tap so that you remember that that pause is there. Left hand. So left hand's pretty boring for those. It's just staying on G sharp the whole time. Okay, so measure 32 through measure 36 in right hand. It might be easiest to figure out what those notes are because you're going to just play the same notes up and down. So the first one in 32, you're going to be playing these notes. B sharp, and I'm naming them as they appear in the music. So B sharp, D sharp, F sharp, and an A. In measure 33, C sharp minor chord. That one's more chill. So C sharp, E, G sharp. In 34, they give you C sharp, E, G sharp, F double sharp, and A sharp. And in 35 and 36, those were the same notes as 32. Up and down. So go through and just like play those as a chord and try and figure out what in heaven's name that chord is, because some of these are really weird. That way you're comfortable finding those notes and reading them on the staff. All right, so let me just play right hand by itself. So finding those notes is going to be a little bit of a chore, but once you do, it's just like the same thing. For me, this is like the worst part of the song because I read this more than I memorized it. So if you can narrow it down to which chords or which notes are in each measure, it makes it a little bit simpler. All right, left hand, which is again just G sharps. So I'm going to forego the whole weighting, okay? Measure 35 to 36, that last G sharp is tied, so don't play it 2 times. You hold it for 8 counts. All right, both hands. All right, so then in measure 37, gets a little bit better. So we're going to go from 37 to the end of 41. So starting on that F sharp. you're like me, but once you get to that middle of 40, you're like, oh, okay, we're back to what we know. All right, so let's do the left hand. Look over it. It's going to start off with those G sharps like before. Remember that 37 is also tied, so don't play anything in left hand for the beginning of 37, or really any of 37. So I'm going to start with 38 with both hands, with left hand. So both hands. So I'm going to be starting from that note in 37. Technically that G sharp would have been held, but you know. So I'm going to leave my hand there, but I'm actually going to play it. All right, so now we come to the part where I'll play the whole section. So we went from 28 all the way to the end of 41, first note of 42 kind of thing. So here that is.